Simpson wasn't even that good, man.
And what's going on, everybody? Do not check the calendars. It is Sunday, but I figured we give everybody out there kind of like room to breathe, blow up their fingers on the 4th of July. So we did not go live yesterday, but we are here for you tonight.
That's why K-Mega's not here, because he, blew up his fingers.
Maybe. If he blew up his fingers, he'll never find the A button ever again. Man, I don't know. I don't know. Well, no, K-Mega's not here right now, but he will be here in a little bit. He's running late. He does that fashionably late thing, kind of like a white girl getting ready for a movie date or something like that. He's got to be fashionably late. But what is going on, chat? Good to see everybody. My brother A-Lo, aka A Lopez, what is up, brother? 9 Lives, what is going on? Doggy Dog, what is up? It is good to see you, brother. Chipmunk, dude. If you ever wondered how it sounded when I typed in Chipmunk with all exclamation points in the chat, that's exactly how it sounds right there. It's Chipmunk. What is going on, everybody? Good to see you on a lazy Sunday edition of Next Podcast. And we got topics for you guys. We got topics that are going to make some people laugh, going to make some people cry, going to make a lot of people think, and it's about to go down tonight.
We might make some people mad tonight. Who knows?
Maybe. They might get a little triggered, or dare I say, a little salty, maybe? I don't know.
Oh my God.
But yeah, let's get through the intros real quick, and I'm going to start off with my brother who has 6-foot snakes in his backyard that he has no problem with, but if he sees a black and yellow beetle on his screen, he freaks out. My brother Predator, what is up, bro?
First of all, it was black and white. Okay, the thing is about the size of my thumb. The thing was huge.
Yeah, but that 6-foot snake, no problem though, right?
Nothing. No issues whatsoever with that. Or the tarantula I had last year, or the, all the other fucking crazy ass animals. I didn't show you guys a picture of the fucking hawk that caught the other bird.
What's in Pred's backyard? That should be a new YouTube thing.
Yeah,
bro.
That should be a YouTube channel. What's in Pred's backyard today?
Yeah, this is what happens when you live out in the sticks in Fort Worth, man. So, cows across the street and shit. Real talk, man. Happy to be here today. I did a show yesterday. I know we're not doing the outros or anything like that, but shout out to PTK Blam yesterday. Popped on his show since we weren't here yesterday. Had an opportunity to hop on his show for a while and have fun. But I know we got some topics to get into, one which I don't really care too much about, but I'm sure we'll have some good things to talk about.
Yeah, but that topic is about life and death, brother. It's about life and death. But shout out to PTK Blam. That was sort of a reunion for you, because that's where I first met you, was on the shop, brother.
Yeah, and like I said, it was like being at home, man. So good to jump in. Every time we don't have a show here, if I have an opportunity to jump on his, I will. So he knows that, and I got an open invitation to his show whenever I can get on. I will.
Maybe I should just move the show to Thursday. Maybe I could do that. But shout out to the friendly neighborhood blue shell, brother. I gotta say, it is so good to see you in the chat again. See you commenting on my YouTube channel, man. You are a blast from the past that's back up to present. And I definitely appreciate you, brother. He says, sorry, I won't be able to stay for the podcast due to work, but I must offer my condolences to K-Mega for his loss. Oh, man, we are going in already. Yeah.
Dang.
But, we will definitely get into that. Next on the list, you guys know him as a hardcore Gears fan, but I got news for you. He plays other games. I know. I've seen the gameplay. For people who check out this show every week, you guys have seen the gameplay as well. Crispy, what is up, brother?
Oh, what is up, everybody? It has been a whole week that I haven't been on a podcast. That is crazy. Can't believe it. Work's been crazy, and that's the exact reason why I have said, nope, not happening. Nope, not happening. and all of a sudden I end up here after July 4th. How about them apples? So, happy July 4th weekend, I should say, to everyone in the chat. And, I hope you have enjoyed your weekend, or if you're here, you might still be enjoying your weekend. Who knows by the end of this?
Yeah, brother, I didn't take into account the whole kind of like holiday weekend thing. And I was like, the day after 4th, that'd be good to go live, man. And, shout out to you guys for saying, yeah, we'll be here. That's no problem. I definitely appreciate that. I feel like the holiday's over the day after. But that's just me, man. I don't know. Next on the list, though, is my West Coast brother. I swear to goodness, I think my dad went over there and spent some time with some women. I think this dude might be my brother. Of course, Dark Optimus is here. What is up, bro?
What's up, man? Happy to be here. Ready to get into these topics. Ready to shut Crispy down for all his multiplayer talk.
Oh yeah, baby. Hey, guess what I watched last night? I watched Thor Ragnarok. Oh yeah, the Goldblum is real. Yes.
Yeah, it is, dude.
Ragnarok's
real
a great
in that
movie, by the way. Great movie. But yeah, no, Dark. I hope that you talk more than you did this past Friday on Crossfire. That's all I gotta say.
You know what? I gotta say that shit was fucking boring. That's why I wasn't talking the most of the time.
Come on. I was entertained. I don't know why you weren't. Yo.
I don't know. I was entertained, but it was boring talk. It was a bunch of talk that not everybody cares about that stuff.
Are you not entertained?
I know, right?
When you're going around and talking about consoles the whole podcast, it gets boring after a while, man. Like you gotta talk about the fun stuff too. You can't just talk about like the consoles and go into depth with that stuff. It's just
Hold on. Shout out to Dennis. Yo, Dennis, if Thor Ragnarok is on TNT, it will be on again, so you don't have to leave us to go watch it. That's all I'm saying. You can stay right here.
I watched it on TNT. Yes, I did.
Oh shoot. Well, I have Disney Plus. I can watch it whenever I want. Shout out
to special.
Well, shout out to Disney Plus. They need to start adding more movies. Like, come on, guys. I'm
for
waiting.
Sure.
I'm waiting for some Marvel original kind of like series to go on there. All that good stuff. Guys are making me wait too long, man.
And it's supposed to happen this fall.
Yeah, I know. It feels like, dude, this fall it's creeping up, man. Like, don't think, like you're gonna blink and it's gonna be kind of like fall holiday season, getting into like the new kind of like consoles and everything like that. That's basically right around the corner right now, man.
Pretty much.
Again, shout out to K Mega, who said he is running a little bit late. He had to fix his makeup, do what he had to do, even though he's not on webcam. But the show must go on. So we are gonna start with some Halo, baby. Yes, and I've been checking out YouTube. All like the Halo channels have been absolutely on fire lately. The Halo hype is real for Halo Infinite. And it seems that Mega Bloks leaked out a picture, had a picture of one of their toys leaked, and it was a brute. It was a pretty diesel-looking brute as well. But it wasn't really about the brute that really got people talking, but it was more the ornament that was on his shoulder. Now, for people who don't know, the banished brutes, they have a tendency to take trophies from fights from combat that they've won and stuff. Now, the interesting thing was, on this banished brute's armor was none other than Locke's helmet, which, that entire community started going crazy. Like, is 343 going to kill Locke? Of course, there were some people in the community that started an outrage for them killing Locke, but these were the same people who didn't like Locke in Halo 5 to begin with. For people who don't know, the Halo community is a community where you will never please everybody. I will let you know that they will turn direction at the flip of a coin and just go wherever they go. But let's go to Dark on this. Dark, we got a toy that has Locke's helmet as a trophy. Now, there was somebody from 343 that came out and said that it wasn't really a leak, that these pictures were coming out anyway, and they're not gonna. He said that they're not gonna like spoil any kind of big parts to the game in terms of the story and stuff. So what do you think about this? Does this mean that there's a possibility that Locke is gonna die in Halo Infinite? And with that, do you think it's warranted? And do you think that the guy who came out from 343, he's just kind of trying to damage control until we start seeing more of the game? What are your thoughts, bro?
I think it could be it could be just a marketing thing too, because I mean that's the thing, like with I think even if you look at Star Wars, the Star Wars Lego, the first Force Awakens, the Lego Force Awakens, that kind of leaked out that it was saying that I guess Ray and what's the other dude's name?
Kylo?
Ray and Kylo Ren. He came out and in the game he said, "Nice to see you again, cousin," or something like that, you know. And that wasn't even like a big leak. I mean, this could be just something that just like they wanted to throw that out there just to get hype for the game. But if it is true, I mean, if Locke, maybe it's not really like Locke being killed. Maybe it's his armor is got destroyed or whatever, and
He lost his helmet in a fight, man.
yeah, or something like that. Yeah, like he lost his helmet in a fight. But I mean, you know, if they do kill off Locke, hopefully they don't kill him off, you know, too soon. And like unlike some other games that have killed off characters as of lately.
Oh, damn.
Characters
bro.
that
Damn,
yeah,
bro.
you know what I'm talking about. But you know, hopefully they don't, because I wouldn't. I mean, as much crap as I give K Mega about Locke, I wouldn't want to see Locke die like right away.
Dude,
like I want to see him go through some shit before he, you know, goes out like a hero. You know.
See, that's what I was gonna ask you. Like when it comes down to it, I know there was a bunch of, you know, especially within the Halo community, there's definitely a certain stigma about, you know, Halo 5 and its story. You know, having missions split up between Master Chief and his team and Locke and his team. Do you think it would be warranted for them to consider this? And before you answer that, I do have a super chat or two. So, like, I do want to know if you think it's going to be warranted. But Humble Beast, shout out to Humble Beast hitting up that super chat. Thank you, brother. He says, I reckon Master Chief goes on a rescue mission to save Locke. Now, brother, that would make sense because Locke actually went on a rescue mission to save Chief and Blue Team in Halo 5. So that actually makes some sense there. Yo, shout out to our brother Rich. Rich is in the building. He says, Gremlins, damn Gremlins. Yo, I don't know what that means, but I am laughing. I am laughing, bro. And it's not a party until our brother Lucifer joins in the super chat. He says the super chat works. Unlike Xbox gameplay videos, which fails to satisfy the need for great gameplay, hashtag K-Mega rules. Just kidding. Xbox, keep up the great work. That's what I'm talking about, Lou. Definitely appreciate that, brother. And you will see none of K-Mega's gameplay in tonight's episode. That's all I'm going to say, man. That's it. But, back to Dark. Dark, do you think it would be warranted for them to kill it? Because I don't think so. Like, he just came in. I feel like there's a spot for him in the universe and all that good stuff. Like, I don't feel it's warranted for him to get killed off. But what do you think, bro?
I think I like what Vogelskrieg said in the chat. He said, Dark, I think he just lost his helmet in a fight with the Brute, and that's it. I'm going to elaborate on that. I think he might have lost his helmet in a fight, right? And that Brute put that helmet on his armor just so that he has a reminder of who he's going after. So he has a reminder of like, this is the guy I want to take out. And
or maybe
it
a
could
false trophy and the Banished think
right.
Locke's dead.
That could be too. That could be the false trophy. I mean, you know, there's many other possibilities, but I think Locke would be a really good character if, you know, we get past the whole fact that, you know, Master Chief is the, you know, is Halo. I think if people can get past that, then they can see Locke as being a good character. Because I mean, he is a good character. He's not a terrible character. I like to give K Mega shit, but it's fun to do that. But I think the character could be fleshed out more, and I think that they were trying to do something. They were trying to solidify themselves, especially 343. They were trying to solidify themselves into the Halo universe by bringing in new characters, new Spartans, and things like that. And with the story this time, with 5, it didn't work out so well for them. But hopefully, in Infinite, it works out better, and we see more in-depth story and more along the lines of what they did with Halo 4. Hopefully.
Well, I listened to a lot of people talking about Locke and what they didn't like, and some of the things I definitely agree with. Like when it comes down to it, the whole Master Chief and Locke fight where they kind of went back and forth. Let's be real here. John, or Master Chief, was basically taken away from his family, kidnapped, and at 6 years old, right? From 6 years old on, he was trained to be a killer. All right.
Yeah.
Locke was not like that. He didn't have that training. He came in like 18 to be recruited into the military. That whole thing. So when it comes down to it, like that fight would have really went a lot more lopsided in Master Chief's favor. You would think. All the experimentation that they did on him, the brainwashing and training, from the start of 6 years old and stuff like that. Like, I can see where people are coming from. Another thing is, we don't know what motivates Locke either. We don't know anything about his backstory. If maybe deaths in the family due to the Covenant. There needs to be something.
That's what I'm hoping for, is that we get more backstory to who Locke is and why, and more stuff about him, because how they treated him in 5, I don't think was justice. I think they need to definitely do something. If they kill him off in Infinite, hopefully it's more towards the end of the game than not at the beginning or something like that. But
I'll let you know,
we'll
Dark.
have to wait until Infinite.
I'll let you know, Dark. I'm not down for him dying at all. I'll say that right now. I feel like when it comes down to it, we got Palmer, which I want to know more about. We got Halsey, we got Locke. The whole team, Osiris, Buck becoming a Spartan, stuff like that. There's so many interesting kind of like stories that can be filled out over time. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it would be. I want to say like cheap
I would like
excuse.
to see.
It would be cheap for them just to kill him off, man.
Yeah, I would like to see Locke and Chief like have a big team, like a big team up of just all the Spartans together, just going to war with the Banished. That would be sick, dude.
I think dude, that might come to fruition, man, because the Banished
that
are
would
crazy.
Yeah, that would be an epic battle.
Nice. Well, I do want to get the rest of the panel in here, and I'm gonna go to Predator next, because I feel like he might have his thought process on this might be a little bit quicker. He's not the biggest like Halo guy in the community, just to put it that way. Lucifer did hit up the super chat though, and he also said, first off, thank you, brother. Again, he said if Locke dies, K Mega will go ham. Yes, he will, brother. You know it. But Pred, what do you think about, first off, the buzz is real for Halo Infinite. Let's be real. A picture of a toy caused the entire community, YouTube community, Halo community, people out on social media, they all started going crazy over this one toy. But what do you think about the prospect of Locke possibly dying in Halo Infinite? Do you like the idea? Do you think it's premature? What's going on? What's your thought process, bro?
I think it's a little soon, but for his character, considering he was really never established, in the game. Like, we got that one game with him and a little fight scene with him and Chief, and then that was pretty much it. I mean, I would like to play as him more personally, but I mean, I gave you guys my I guess my prediction about this whole situation like months ago, like how I thought it was going to play out, and it's how they you got to keep Locke alive and keep Chief alive, but you don't necessarily have to have them both in the game, if that makes any sense. I I think the way I put it was like, in this game, the Infinite comes out like Chief disappears, right? Locke has to go find him. This is the way I thought of it when we were talking about this in the private chats earlier. But like, I could see a scenario where Chief disappears for a game or two. Maybe Locke finds him and Arbiter assists him, and they form a rescue mission team to go find him. But I mean, as far as the toy, I mean, it's a toy. I'm not gonna look too deep into it. I don't think they.
But this is a line
spoiled
that's
too
coming
much.
out with Halo Infinite, though. Like, I mean, there's some substance there, bro.
Possibly. I mean, like we don't know that because it's just a toy. It just has a helmet on it. It doesn't like I think somebody in chat mentioned like hey, maybe he just has his helmet and kept him captive. Like we don't know, and I don't want to look too deep into it just because like we start getting these tinfoil hats on our heads and start assuming things just based off of an image of a toy. And we're smart enough consumers that we pick up on things like that, and sometimes these companies don't think about how much lore that game has and how deep we're gonna dig when we see something like that. And we do it all the time. Like we start analyzing things a little bit too much and possibly over analyzing it. And if this was a leak, it sucks. But I don't know, because they kind of came out and said no, this is just
They 343 came out. Do you think that might have been just damage controlling, or do you think he's telling the truth there? Because another thing, 343 has been incredibly surprised at how many people are breaking down the trailers, trying to connect dots here and there. Like, they've never dealt with this before. The Halo community will break anything down, any new information. They will try to find codes and stuff within what they're seeing. So do you think that it's just they're being honest, like don't look into this, or do you think they might be trying to like squash that hype right now before they actually show the game in July?
A little bit of both. I mean, I don't think they want people to start digging too deep into every little thing that they show. They want to control their information. They don't want a company dropping a toy to control it and alter the narrative. So a little bit of damage control in that aspect, like, hey, like maybe something did happen, but it's probably not as straightforward as we're trying to make it. Like he's just dead, like it could be anything. I mean, I don't want to look too deep into it. And as the next couple of weeks go on, we'll start hearing more and more Halo news, and we'll get a trailer, we'll get some information about the game, and then we can break that down. But I don't want to sit here and harp on a toy with a helmet on it. We just kind of feed into it too much without having more substance than just that. I can come up with 15 different scenarios of why that's there, and I think everybody else can come up with their own scenario as well. So could he be dead? Yeah, sorry. Hashtag Team Locke. I just honestly I don't see a universe in Halo where they keep both of them alive too long. I think one of them is going to have to die at some point in time.
You are a brutal man, you know that? Yeah, absolutely brutal. Yeah, dude. One thing I will ask you though, because you were around for the whole Hunt the Truth kind of like that marketing kind of like promo for Halo 5,
Mm-hmm.
and dude, I gotta say, with them only just starting off with kind of like that one, kind of like that one feed that they did to kick off the marketing, talking about the Banished and stuff like this with the toys. Does it feel like that Halo hype is really building out there? Because I can feel it. I don't know about you, bro.
Yeah, and it's like I'm expecting to start hearing more and more. Like, typically they don't discuss games until like, think about the last couple of games they've had to come out. They didn't talk about Ori. They didn't talk about pretty much any of their games like until like maybe a week or two. Maybe we got like a Inside Xbox or something like that the week the game is about to come out. But like they don't do marketing this far in advance for any of their games. And this game doesn't come out till like November maybe. And we're just barely in July, and that came out in June actually. So the end of June. So like for them to start marketing that way out like they're doing right now is a good sign. I mean, that means they have a lot of faith and confidence in the game. They're going to put a lot of money into it, trying to market it. They know this is one of their biggest games that they have. It's their system seller, so they have to market it. And the hype is real. Like you look at that video, some people have watched that thing multiple times, like multiple times. Like I don't know how many views it had, but I know it was pretty high up there last time I looked at it. But so yeah, I mean the hype is real for the game. I mean, this is their biggest franchise, so everybody out here is anticipating, expecting good things from this game, especially with the amount of people working on it and the names that are just associated with this game in general as far as working on it. So
yeah. Now, one quick question, Pred, before I move on to Crispy, because I know like you're gonna keep this short and sweet and incredibly detailed within it. But with all that being said, the hype building, all that good stuff, what do you think are the chances that Halo Infinite does not come out for the launch of the Series X? Like it's delayed.
Oh man,
I hit you with the hard question, bro.
I don't think
it sounds like it's on track, man.
I don't think Microsoft's gonna let that happen.
I don't think so either.
They have to push this game out, and the fucked up part of saying that though is that it could come out broken, which is going to be another misstep too. So they got to get it right, and if they got to crunch those last couple of months to get it right and get it fixed, I mean, do it. If they got to have a beta, do it so they can get those bugs fixed. I mean, this has to be a launch game. You can't go through look at Cyberpunk. Like the longer this game gets delayed, the more it gets taken out of it, the less and less people get hyped for it. And we've seen that with some of their other games before, like Crackdown. Like they delayed the shit out of that game, and then when it finally came out, the hype for it was dead, and the game wasn't that good. So they got to get this game out on time. I mean, this is their launch. They got to get they need this game to get a good foothold on this next generation.
Yeah. You never get a second chance to make a first impression, basically, is what's going on here. And I really feel like, and, with you saying crunch, I know I've been on Crossfire, other shows, talking about, what the rumors at Naughty Dog and stuff. Those rumors, those go beyond what typical crunch would be in developing a game. So, like, those rumors, those were beyond crunch, and those were basically abusive practices when it came to employees and whatnot. I'm not talking about. I will never condone that level. Going on to an employee and having them kind of like not see their families and all that good stuff. Now, with most of the developers being home, they're not getting pulled away from their families. They're home, which is good. But yeah, I can definitely see them kind of, getting on the money. Working really hard to make sure this game comes out on time, and I think it's going to come out on time, man.
Honestly, I could see Microsoft doing this from now on, having their people work from home unless they have to absolutely go into the studio to work on stuff.
Like mocap and stuff like that, man.
Right, stuff like that, but I could see these studios continuously working from home just for just from now on, and that would be good for the morale of the company, but I also think that would be good for the games themselves, because I think the games will have more passion in them, because these people are actually home, they're able to spend time with their families, they're actually able to just have a better environment than just working in an office the whole time.
It sounds like a good formula. That's what I have to say about that.
I don't know. I don't like the state of the world right now. Let's just put it like that. But first off, shout out to Vogel, who basically stated that Locke could get into a fight with the Brute, lose his helmet there, held prisoner by the Brutes, and that's why the Brute has his helmet on his shoulder. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff like that, and it's funny how people automatically went to straight that, Locke's gonna die. Like, they went right to the death, like, that whole death code on it, man. It was kind of crazy. Shout out to Hacky Sacked as well. He said, I expect a Halo Infinite multiplayer beta available July 23rd. Brother, I would love to have that. I hope they do that. And if they do, me and you can go in day one, man. We'll go in and wreck Halo Infinite multiplayer via beta. I'm down. I'll be there. But Crispy, my Gears guy. What's going on, Crispy?
What's up, buddy?
Not too much, man. You ready to talk some Halo here?
Absolutely.
All right. Well,
pay attention.
So we saw the toy, we saw the helmet. When it comes down to it, Brute, especially the Banished, very kind of like tribal in nature, likes to take trophies and stuff. So what do you think are the chances that Locke is going to get killed off in Halo Infinite? And do you think it's the right thing to do if they do that?
I think personally, at this point, and keep in mind, I have never played Halo 5's campaign.
So you
And
don't
I'm only
even know
going-
the stigma of Locke then.
Well, no. I do. I understand that Locke is a soldier, and he's going to do what his superior tells him to do.
yes,
And
sir.
that's basically his thought process. And when he looked at Chief in the beginning, he goes and says, it doesn't matter. I have to do what my superior told me to do, and get this done, and go track him down. And the thing that a lot of people don't realize is that Master Chief is so much older than Locke is. You know what I'm saying? And they're not understanding that Locke has never felt the emotion that Master Chief has felt.
Well, we don't know because they never really fleshed out his background. It's something like me and Dark were talking about there. Something that they really need to do. They really need to create an emotional attachment between Locke and the gamer.
Listen. When you have the people around you saying, like, this is a different beast you're going after, okay? Because I've watched enough. I haven't played it, but I've watched enough. Where
you can't. According to Twitter, you can't have an opinion.
Yeah,
if you haven't played it, K-Mega knows about that.
Whatever. Let's be serious for a second.
Okay. All right. I'll try.
You have to realize that his mentality is a military mentality. Chief has gone beyond the military mentality. He wants the human race to survive, and that's what he cares about more. And he has gone against orders. He's gone against everything. Basically, he is the order now. He is the one that they look to give the orders the majority of the time. I feel like Locke is going to supposedly, quotation marks, die in the story, and then all of a sudden come back and maybe save Master Chief, but also been watching him the whole time and seeing how heroic he is and how spectacular he is. And I've gained an emotional respect for the man, because we all have that emotional respect for Master Chief. If you played any of the Halo games, you know what I mean? Even if it's just a couple of them, you still have that emotional respect for him. And he might find that. And maybe Master Chief, he might see Master Chief be like, I didn't want him to die. I know he came after me, or, it could be a great dialogue or something. Like I feel like we're going to get emotion from this game that you haven't seen from Xbox, especially with the Halo franchise. We've seen it in bits and pieces with like Reach and Halo 3, Halo 2 kind of, and then Halo 4 was really good at that, but
Halo 4 was really emotional. The story was really emotional, man. Like,
you know what I mean?
They did good.
I feel like we're going to get that, but I don't feel like he's going to die. Maybe it's towards the end. I think if you're going to do that, it would be towards the end. Maybe he saves Master Chief after seeing how heroic he is, or how spectacular he is, or we see them come together and kind of be like, we're gonna own this. And we've seen it in PlayStation's view and everything. You see it from different points of view, and the thing is people always hate, but Halo's been doing that for a while. Different points of view, even with freaking half the characters, you see different points of view.
I can see.
I feel like they might want to go back to that.
I was going to say, for people who might not understand what you're saying, I think I see what you're saying, because in the original Halo 1, 2, and 3, at one point in time, there was the Arbiter in the Arbiter story. That was a different point of view. Then 343 Guilty Spark, with what he was doing and how he was setting up with the rings and stuff like that. That was another different point of view. I never actually looked at it like that, Crispy, but you're right. They do give a bunch of different points of view on the same battle that's going on in the Halo franchise, man. That's a great point, yeah.
And the fact is like we're talking about the Banished, which I've watched. I will never play Halo Wars, okay? But the fact is that the story is actually really good. Like I've watched the clips of the story and everything else, and the thing I have to say is that like everybody, the brutes are the brutes. They're the brutes. You know what I'm saying? But in the end, they're not the smartest apple in the tree, right? I mean, we could all say that.
Unless you're talking about Atriox. Let's be real here.
I mean, one out of the many. You know what I'm saying? But
Yo,
we're not talking about him.
Dude, all the military needs is one brilliant mind, though. And everybody else to follow the orders of that brilliant mind.
Is he wearing Locke's helmet? Is he wearing Locke's helmet?
No, he's not. No, he is not.
Okay.
Oh.
And that's where I go and say that Locke, the entire, UNASC will think he's dead. Everybody will think he's dead. And then all of a sudden he comes back and he's been in the shadows watching what Chief does.
He comes back with 24 karat gold armor, like glowing on the top of a mountain.
You never know. Maybe you play parts of it as him, and you are collecting like epic stuff. I mean, clearly you can get away with it with The Last of Us 2. Okay, you can get away with it. Abby gets all the great guns, all the good shit. Okay, but in the end, you still have love
spoilers,
for a single character. You get great guns. I hope that's not a
whole spoiler thing. How long has the game been out already, Dark?
Like 2 weeks.
All right, that's enough time, man. We don't have to pussyfoot around topics because of like spoilers.
It's fine. I already finished the game anyways. I don't give a shit.
No, so he don't care. He don't care. Yo, guys, I want to shout out my brother K Mega, who is on the panel in the hangout right now. What is up, bro?
What's up with you, man? I'm sorry that was late again. I mean, it's like a family affair going on. It was my mom and Green Leaf or whatever that show was, and now it's that was my son, and he wanted to talk about his relationship issues. Like, sucker, like what's going on, man? What's going on?
It's like take the reins, brother. Take the reins.
Yeah. Well, no. If I take the reins, then that means I got to.
No, you need to tell him take the reins, man.
Well, no. He took the reins. It just took him long enough to take the reins. That was the whole problem.
Damn.
So I'm like, okay, I told you this a long time ago. You could have saved yourself a lot of trouble, but hey, still, this old bastard still needs teaching and learning. So I had to be a father for a couple of hours, but it's okay. So it's
nice. It always feels good when you hand down fatherly advice and you feel like some of it might have been absorbed. Like I know that feeling. It definitely feels good. I do want to shout out Blue Shell one more time, hitting up that super chat. He says, if Halo Infinite has a beta on the 23rd, I will take off work and hunt down Spartan Xbot 448 Banished style. Time to go to work, brother. I will be there waiting. If they throw this down I will be there waiting to take you on, bro. It's not going to be easy. I'm letting you know right now. Shout out to my brother Z Black Rider, who is very confused about us being live on a Sunday. Like I said before, we gave everybody a chance to blow their fingers off on Saturday night. We took that night off and we came back for a Sunday show. But K Mega, you came in right on time because we're talking about the whole brute toy that had Locke's helmet on his shoulder and what that means for Halo Infinite. Because a lot of people out there, dude, the Halo hype is real. Halo YouTube channels, they're at boiling points right now. They're putting out content like crazy. Social media is talking about Halo Infinite, especially this toy. What do you think about the prospect of Locke possibly getting killed off when it comes to Halo Infinite? And unfortunately, while you do that, I didn't get water before we started the show, so I have to get water as well. But I feel like you have enough words. I can go get water, come back, and still
yeah.
hear
yeah.
what you're talking about, bro.
Still hear what I got to say. Yes, absolutely. Okay, first off, let me just make this point. It's to see the toy and to see the brute. What's his name? Hyperion. What's his name? Forget the name of the brute, but it shows
I
me
think it's Hyperion. Yeah.
Hyperion, something like that. Yeah, the one thing that it does to me is it gives a tone that I've been hoping that Halo would have, which is a darker, more realistic. Well, not I should say realistic, but more of a darker tone that shows you how grave things are and how they become. So regardless of the fact if Locke is dead or alive, the point of the matter is that look, it just shows you that badass Spartans will get dealt with. I mean, you've seen that in Halo Wars 2. Atriox fought 3-4 Spartans at one time, and it was just showing off. It wasn't even. It was just play. And so, of course, the lieutenants is going to be badass as well. So that part to me, it gives me excitement. But overall, this whole thing about where we've seen the Halo Finder and all of them, they went crazy and they wanted to, use it. Oh, the Locke is gonna die and all this. And if you read the comments, it just shows you how ridiculous some of the Halo community is in their thought process of Halo 5. For one, all you got to do is with the toy, read the comments, and there's people that were saying that because that Halo 5 didn't have didn't follow some story that was talking about the Reclaimer, or that it didn't follow the trailer of the commercial. They played one level of Halo 5, and they boycotted it. And then there was other people that they told to boycott the game, and they never played it, but yet they're in a Halo community.
If they didn't play it, they can't talk about it, right, K Mega?
Well, it's not the fact of they can talk about the story aspect of it all they want to.
They can't have an opinion, bro.
No. When you talk about
a lot of opinion.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Well, I mean that's the new thing now. Since I mean, plenty of people that don't have an Xbox been talking about Xbox games. That's another story. But no, when it comes to the story aspect of it, I mean, there's plenty of leaks. The game's been out for 5 years. Of course, people are going to have a thought process of what the story is in Halo 5, and if you like it or didn't like it, that's your opinion. I respect that. Mm-hmm. The problem that I do have, though, is that you have people that claim to be diehard Halo fans, and that they get all up in their panties because of the fact that that's one plot didn't happen the way that they projected it or wanted to be, and they didn't even play the multiplayer, only play through the game. They just watch stuff about the story. You're a fraud. You don't even belong in the Halo community, period. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, the stuff that I showed you, where one of the people that had the Discord saying all the racist stuff, calling a Muslim person or a person. Well, I don't know if they were Muslim, but they were someone from overseas.
It's a racist Arabic slang.
Yeah, racist Arabic slang, and then making racist jokes with the N-word and all. Like, bro, I've said this a million times, and I will continue to keep saying it. I had to block somebody the other day because they always had that underlying racial tone about Locke, you know what I'm saying, and then try to use other podcasters and YouTubers to try to make their claim. I don't give two shits about the other person's claim that you tagged. That's their opinion. I got mine. But the point that you keep on low key throwing it, I had to block you. You were ignorant. You keep sounding ignorant. And this is the thing that I cannot stand amongst the Halo community, because there's some people that will tell you that they want the game to be a certain way, and if they don't give the time or the day to really understand or flesh out anything about all of these characters within the universe, and just want it to be primarily about just two people or just two entities, then you're killing the story off itself. Because once Chief and Cortana gets either too worn out to where everybody's like, man, we've seen this story before. How many times are we going to keep finding out about a twist and turn between Chief and Cortana before it gets old? Or if they decide to kill him off, then you guys already assuming that Halo should be already dead and gone. that to me is a slap in the face to all of Halo, the universe itself, and everybody that's written stories and talked about the lore within. Like, there's gamers out here that don't even know anything about Gray Team, the Shadow Team. Like, I hope they get introduced. I hope that what happens with Locke is that he got his ass beat by Hyperion. And if I said his name right, if I said his name wrong, please let me know. But if he got his ass whooped by Hyperion really bad and maybe got captured, or maybe the Arbiter, because if you played Halo 5, him and the Arbiter had a really tight relationship, especially when Locke and Team Osiris went over there to help him fight on the Covenant homeworld to help take it over. Mm-hmm. So maybe Arbiter could have helped him, helped saved him out to get it, or and maybe he could have died. And if that's the case, then it's only going to be one or two things with me with Halo Infinite. Everybody in that motherfucker better die too. Like, this is the beginning of the end. I do not want no Friday the 13th bullshit where the black dude's the first one to die.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? And then,
dude,
and then all the white people.
He deserves to die. Yo,
no, he don't.
Mega, check this out.
Yeah,
check this out. When it comes to Halo 5 and looking at the story, and I've played through the story a couple times, and I've had a blast. Like, they've had their big scenes where you're in vehicles. They've had the smaller, close combat kind of like scenarios, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. That, to me, gameplay wise, they had everything lined up. The only thing that I felt that they didn't do, again, was give an emotional attachment to Locke. No, kind of like something about his backstory, whether he joined the UNSC because the Covenant killed his family, or wife and kid, or something. There's something.
Right.
They have to put something in there for people to gravitate towards and to get an emotional kind of like response when looking at this character. I don't think they did that in Halo 5. I'm hoping that they do it in Infinite. I think that's the right way to go and not kill him off, man.
Right, no, I totally agree. That's the point. Like, I mean, why would you go out your way to make the most diverse characters in the Halo lore and then kill them off in the next game?
In the very next game. Like,
in the very next game. I mean, look how the situation's going on with The Last of Us 2 and how that is gone about. 7 years of waiting, and then the two people that you care about the most, that's gone.
That's gone.
That's gone. That's gone. You know what I'm saying? That shit is not. I mean, bro, I mean, think about it. Like,
yeah, Joel, yes, but not so much Ellie. Ellie's still.
I know Ellie is still around. The point of it though is that
they moved
that
the story past her, though.
They moved it past her, and the fact that they took away the relation. They didn't give the gamers really enough time to absorb Joel and Ellie like people have absorbed Master Chief and Cortana. That's what I'm saying.
You're right. You're right about that.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I have a problem with The Last of Us 2, even though like I haven't really got into that game. I felt those people's pain because that story between Joel and Ellie was completely like on that same wavelength, in my opinion, like Chief, and so give the game a little time to breathe, not just go with a shock and all like that. But hey, that's a whole different topic. But it is got similarities. If you go and you try to bring in, and I'm not saying that Joel and Ellie is on the same wavelength as Team Osiris, because there's more fleshed out information about Joel and Ellie than there is about Team Osiris. The fact is that this is
not necessarily, because I mean, Team Osiris is in books too. So
yeah, well they are, but I'm saying for the people that plays these games, things
that's
like
true,
that.
yeah.
Stories.
Yeah.
So the one also fact is that what it could also, like, if you kept Locke alive, if you kept Team Osiris there to be there around, and then you have a potential where, just like in Halo 5, Locke saves Blue Team.
Oh, that's not going to happen again, bro.
No. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen,
okay.
Where he says he saves Master Chief and Blue Team. There could be a scenario where Master Chief could save Locke, and then there could be a bond, a relationship of trust, and then maybe then it can spread out to where they can go after.
I only watched the game, and I swear to God, I just kind of said that.
Oh. Yeah, you did, and that's the thing where like Locke can finally find out the true nature of Oni, and then it could be where Chief and Locke and whoever else that's in Jerome and them of the red team, and can go out there and try to stop Oni after the whole situation with the
Yeah,
well, the
because they
Covenant
shady
is
as
gone.
hell, man. They
Right,
yo, Oni shady
because they're
as
shady.
hell.
There's so many possibilities they can go with really actually spreading the universe, and then maybe this gray team could be that other bad protagonist that goes with the Banished, which the Banished seems like to be the new villain, the new main villain, because I think this is the end of the Covenant. But overall, let me because I know I'm talking
yo,
long on
Humble,
it. But
really?
what do you say?
Yo, shout out to Humble hitting up that super chat. He said, Master Chief and Locke should go after the, I'm not saying that, a certain type of brutes. Hashtag arrest Hillary.
Wow,
bro.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Dude,
But,
I
yeah.
do dip into that stuff too, Humble. Like, we can talk on Twitter if you like, man.
But yeah, there's this other stuff that just is going on. I mean, that the universe can actually now start to expand with all of them coming together to stop the Banished, to see what Cortana's going to do, all of this other stuff that we talked about last week, and then really flesh out these stories and let people have an understanding, and then yes, give Locke his own point. But if you kill him off, and then you kill off Team Osiris, then what you just did is you just killed off the most diverse team, and then you kept, and then you're going to basically, if you're going to have it to where it's going to play the same playbook like it always have with each Halo, except for the two that didn't have Chief in it, where Chief comes and saves the day, and he's the only one left. My God, that will be the most ridiculous fucking story
it would
ever.
hurt.
And I will clown that shit till the day the cows come home. People will love it, and they will say, "Oh my God, Chief is back and he's this and that." No, you just made a mockery out of a universe that should be expanded.
That won't happen that way. Like what I'm gonna say here, and this is from being a part of the Halo community for a long time. Yes, there was a lot of backlash for it wasn't necessarily for the character Locke itself. It was just the fact of like how many missions were Locke, and how the Hunt the Truth wasn't really what, you know, the marketing wasn't on point with what the story was and stuff like that, which I can agree with people wholeheartedly. But my thing is, and I think a lot of people in the Halo community do feel the same way, just killing off Locke is a very cheap way to try to solve a problem, and all it would do would create a major backlash. See, Locke's already in the universe now.
Yes.
So flesh him out. Make him a character that people care about, okay? You know, that, you know, when it comes down to it, Halsey at first was just the scientist that headed the project for you know, the super soldiers. But over time, her story was fleshed out. She lost her arm in Halo 4 in the Spartan Ops. Like, you get to a point where either you love her or hate her, but there's an emotional attachment there. That's the next step for Locke, not killing him off. I think there would be a backlash.
Well, let me also make this point too, Bot. What would also be really embarrassing too is that if they do kill off Locke that quick, that means that they would kept the most hate, because Locke is not the most hated character in Halo lore. It's Palmer. Palmer had more scenes and has been around longer than Locke has, and Palmer is the one is the most disliked character in the Halo universe, next to Halsey. So it just blows my mind. And like, you know, the Halo fans, they couldn't stand the Arbiter. They didn't like Reach when Reach first came out. They did like ODST,
which is weird because they like Reach now.
Right, it's one of the most beloved.
Right. And like I've said, Halo 5 will be that Tokyo Drift of Halo of the Halo lore, because it combines all the Halo. Somebody said that last week. Halo 5 and Halo Wars is basically the prologue and the epilogue to the to the Halo universe becoming what it should be. I mean, because look at the Red Team. The relationship between Jerome and Isabel is dope. I love it. I love the relationship with Locke and that female Spark. I can't remember her name, but
I forgot her name. Damn.
Yeah. Matter of fact, when I play the multiplayer, I use her voice because it's funny to me. She's dope as hell. I love that relationship that they were trying to tie in, like with Chief and the other Spark. And then of course, you got everybody else that's involved. with the spirit of fire and all of that. Like, man, put that all together. You got the Affinity, you got all of these other characters in this universe, and man, we could expand it and get it to where it's supposed to be. Because there was somebody also made a point saying if they put, let's say that they had a separate game with Locke and the Arbiter going out to go do something together. You telling me that you wouldn't play that game?
Oh, hell yeah, I would.
Yeah. I mean, that would be dope. Like, there's so many things that they can do, not only with just Locke and Team Osiris, but with every other team out there to expand this universe. I wouldn't mind playing as a brute. We did it in Halo Wars 2. I mean, we played with those two brothers and found out that shit about what happened with Atriox and all of that stuff. They could expand it to that to get a perspective from maybe the Fallen Covenant or even from the Brutes and why the Banished is who they are.
Yo,
there's one last thing
Okay.
I'm going to say about it. I think the reason why the game's not called Halo 6 Infinite is because they're getting away from the
Getting
numbers.
away from numbers. It makes it sound long in the tooth, man.
And getting away from the numbers and really fleshing out their story in their own way, especially with 343 taking over. I think they've definitely learned a lot from Halo 5 and Halo 4 that they're like, I think they're going to really show us something really good
Well,
this time
see,
around.
they learned from Halo 4 because it was the multiplayer that a lot of people had, there was a big backlash about. So when Halo 5 came out, I think arguably a lot of people out there can say best Halo multiplayer. I know there's Halo 3 diehards out there it's just Halo 3 all the time. There's no changing their minds unless they absolutely duplicate the multiplayer for Halo 3. But that's a sign that 343 does hear what people are saying and can make the change and make the positive change moving to the next title. You see what I'm saying?
Let me ask you just one last question, guys. What if Halo Infinite goes back to the Halo multiplayer wise, goes back to the old Halo multiplayer way?
I would be so mad. Like, dude, you have
I think
no
that
idea.
would be a really big mistake because
Yes.
I think Halo 5 has done such a good
see
job
that.
with its multiplayer. I think what they really got to focus on is that single player aspect, and then put that multiplayer, maybe add a few more things to the multiplayer, and then they got a great game on their hands if they do that.
I agree 100% with you. All right,
Nice.
I'm done.
But we are causing Predator to fall asleep. By the
know.
way, he fell asleep on the Z key in the chat. Real
I
quick,
thought I was the last one. I thought that's why I went.
you
a
are
little
the
long.
last one, man. He said we've been talking about this for an
Oh,
hour.
okay.
Dude,
We did talk about it for an hour though.
Yeah, and even Predator said off air, he was like, I know you and K Mega, you guys are big Halo guys and everything, but let's talk about it and then move on. So that's what I'm going to do. And before we move on to the next topic, I got to shout out Damn Good 75 in the chat. Is that real? Damn Good? Because that's insane. Death Stranding and Horizon Zero Dawn are using DirectX 12 on PC? Oh my goodness. That's freaking huge. Because there's Vulkan. They could use Vulkan. Like, they don't have to use DirectX 12. Damn. Yo, who was that? Yo, Damn Good. If you're following me on Twitter, if you have any information like that, send a link to me in a DM, man. I definitely want to check that out, yo. But moving on. Speaking of moving on, we're moving on to the next generation very soon, right around the corner. 2K came out talking about NBA 2K21, stating that the game will be $59.99 on PS4, PS4 Pro, Xbox One, Xbox One X, but the price will be increased by $10 for the Series X and the PS5. I'm one of those people. I'm in the camp of this was bound to happen at some point in time. We've gone so many years staying at the $60 level when it comes to games, but a lot of people are saying this is going to open the door. Other devs are going to be like, well, if they're making a basketball game and they're selling it for $70, we're putting a lot more time into our development for this game, whether it's single player, story driven or whatnot. And a lot of people out there are stating that, next gen games are going to be $69.99 $14.99, and of course that is U.S. dollars right there. I know Canada and Australia pay a hell of a lot more, but let's go with Pred. Pred, what do you think about this news? I know it's NBA 2K. 2K, they're the first people to come out and state this, but do you feel like this is what's happening? The industry, the games now are going to be $69.99 instead of $59.99, and if so, how do you feel about that, bro?
I could see that happening. I mean,
It's been
we
a long
talked
time,
about this.
man.
What's
Dude, it
that?
seems like we talk about things a couple months before the news actually hits on this show. It's weird, yo.
It's overdue. To be honest with you, I mean, like we've been paying for $60 for games forever. You know, the cost of making these games and just for. I'll say it this way. Let me back up. All right, there's some games that are $70 games, but there's a lot of games that aren't. So if there's a range in there from like like look at this, like Record, that was what, $30 when it came out,
Yeah.
right? That was a $30 game, right? Ori was $30 when it came out, $30 game. Even though it became bigger, Ori 2 was I think $60, but I think it earned it, because part 1 was so good. Bug Snacks, how much is that going to cost? Is that a $70 game in your eyes? Like seriously, like I mean,
Why are you trying to get butt snacks?
I was gonna say I don't know a lot about the game per se.
I don't either, but like just the looks of it alone, just based off your first initial impressions of the game, do you want to spend $70 in that game?
That's a $90
Maybe.
game. What are you talking about, bro?
Yeah, that's damn near a bill. What you talking about, man?
Yeah.
What the fuck ever. I mean, but just think about some of the games coming out and imagine like, okay, you're putting every game on. You're basically putting a baseline for every game, which isn't right because not every game is really worth $70. Like a game like Cyberpunk might be worth $70, right? Halo, $70. Grounded, that's not a $70 game to me. Sorry. Just going off of like just what I've seen so far of the game, I just can't imagine dropping 70 bills, the yuccas. Let me say it that way on a game like that. So I think if it's like certain games are $70, I think we're okay with that. Like I couldn't imagine paying $70 for Madden when it's just a reskin of the one from last year. You just change.
Oh, that's gonna happen, dude. That's Activision. That's gonna happen though.
Oh yeah, I know it's gonna happen, but it's like they could have easily just said, hey, here's some DLC. Like we've been playing Sea of Thieves for years, right? For like what, 3 years now, ish. And we've paid for some things in that game, but it wasn't like a lot. Like the game, they've been able to update the game without us having to put a lot more money into it. Like Destiny, we'll use that as an example because I know you love that game. We've put more money into that game than what it came out as. Like you probably bought like 3 or 4 versions of Destiny already, which really could have been a $30 game with $20, $10 add-ons later. But you pay $60 each time you get it, right? So. But a game like Madden, like that's a $30 base.
I'm gonna be
game.
over $200 into Destiny 2 come September.
Yeah, because you've bought each and every DLC basically.
Yes, sir.
And that's what I'm saying. Like we're already overpaying for some of these games as it is. Some of them, not all of them, but some of them are worth $70. Some of them are worth $200. You're gonna put that much money into it over time. But like as a base game, a game like, and again, I'm gonna go with Bug Snacks. That's the first one that comes to my head.
Dude, you should have had the strawberry as your picture, man.
I can't. I did the other day. I did it a couple of weeks ago, so I had to change it up. But I just can't see dropping, $70 in a game like that. I just like if it comes. Basically, what's going to happen is you're going to have to make a choice. All right, you got $70 in your pocket, and there's 3 games coming out. You're gonna, you're gonna think twice now. You're not gonna be like, Bug Snacks or Cyberpunk. Which one am I gonna get? It's gotta be a no-brainer. And then the games, they
Bug
typically,
Snacks, no doubt, man. Come on.
They typically decrease in price after a couple of weeks anyway. But then again, the beauty of Game Pass. So like you have Game Pass for stuff like this, and that's one of the things Microsoft has done well. You get all that shit for like what, $15 a month? First party games like that. So that's just one option you can take out the play. I'd rather spend that $15 a month and play 3 or 4 games than that 70 just to play one game. And then keep in mind, like, and I'm not going to knock Sony for this, but a lot of their games are not multiplayer. So you're not getting out of it what you're putting into it. Like, you play the game for $70 and you're, I don't want to say one and done, because some people like to go through and play it more.
I would say 2 or 3 kind of like run throughs.
Yeah, I'll say I'm a one guy. I play it once, I'm done with it. I ain't going back to it once I beat the story, right? That's just me. But like, I don't do multiple playthroughs again. I might go back and try and get some of the, like, you know, the trophies or something like that, achievements later on. But as far as a full playthrough of the game the second time, that's just not how I game. So do you want to spend $70 if you're just going to play a single player exclusive, or $70 goes a long way for a game like Halo, who has single player, multiplayer, which is fire. You know, you're going to get your money's worth out of it.
Oh, hell yeah.
If you know, I don't feel like I would get my money's worth out of a $70 game like Bugsnax. I can't see it happening. So
what if Bugsnax has multiplayer though, man?
I would still pass on it. I mean, that's
well,
it's not my type of
Bugsnax.
not my type of game, man.
Pred, just real quick,
I got bugs in my yard right now I can eat.
Yo, Pred, just real quick, I wanna get your opinion on something about this before we move on to another panel member. What do you think about? Because I know a lot of people talking. They're talking about microtransactions, and as I'm saying this, I'm seeing that Lucifer also hit up Super Chat one more time. So just real quick, games. This is from Lucifer. Thank you, brother, for hitting up the Super Chat. He said games going to $69.99. Game Pass looking better and better. Microsoft ahead of the curve. Will it affect game sales more? That is a good question, brother, and I think we're going to answer that within this topic. All right. So shout out to you, and yes. Game Pass is looking better and better. It's like Microsoft and Xbox knew this might happen a couple years back and started doing the whole Netflix of gaming to kind of offset that.
Didn't they just say that PS5 is going to be $10 more than Series X?
I didn't hear anything about that, but real quick, Pred, when it comes down to this whole $69.99, basically $70. Dude, how do you feel that 2K are the first ones to announce this with a game, NBA 2K21, that is absolutely riddled with microtransactions, so this way the developers and the publishers get their money? Do you have any kind of like opinion on it being NBA 2K, and 2K are the first ones announcing this, with them, branding that type of game, that microtransaction heavy game?
Does that surprise you though? Like,
no.
Look at who makes that game.
I thought Activision would do it first, actually, but go ahead.
They probably will at some point too, but it doesn't surprise me. I'm looking at Chipmunks. Anthony Bugsnax is worth a good $80. Fuck out of here. Quadruple A banker.
Yes, that's a quadruple A right there. Now we know.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me that it came from, like, and just looking at the whole microtransaction things from the start, like you're charging $80 a game or $70 a game, 80, 70, whatever. Like, there should be a lot more transparency with those games if you're going to increase the price of it, right? Like I should know at launch what systems that game's going to come on. I should know what DLC is going to come out with that game in the future. I shouldn't have to wait until an announcement's made. A game comes out and like, oh, DLC will be a future. We'll discuss it in the future. But hey, go ahead and pre-order and spend $80 in this game now. Like, that's bullshit.
And then
like,
they Mass Effect Andromeda you if it doesn't do good and say, you know what, we're not doing that. Like,
they'll anthem us, right? Like, so, I think if they're gonna go this route, this is for any company, if they're going to go this route and ask for more money, they need to actually give us stuff that we need to know ahead of time. Like, how much DLC is planned for this game? What's the roadmap for it? Like, and it's something they haven't done at all this generation. Like, we'll get the roadmap after the game releases, like 3 months later. And then like you got your season passes and shit too. Like, how much Destiny was a $60 game, right? How much is each iteration of that you paid for each one?
Well, the season
30
pass,
to 40.
The season pass is 30. The expansion, when they do that once a year big expansion, is also 30. So you're basically, if you get both of them every year, which I do, you're basically paying for a new game every year.
Yeah.
So
And there's no option to like let's say I love Destiny, right? And
Okay.
I know they're
That would
going to
be
support
great,
this
by the
game
way.
for 5 years, right? Give me an option to buy all of that shit at once. Would you do that? Would you
me,
spend $250 to get everything that's coming in Destiny 2 up front, versus buying it individually and it's like 400?
me personally, no. And the reason why is when it comes
Because you're gonna buy it, you know. So
I don't know that. I don't know that because Bungie lost me for a whole season at one point in time. I didn't go and play during the Black Armory season because like I went in and I started playing it and I thought it was garbage. So I just moved past that. So I would rather do exactly what they're doing now and then decide, because you don't have to get the season pass. You can buy each season individually as well. So you don't have to buy the season pass. If they had a thing just for the expansions, because they talked about 2020, 2021, and 2022, like the big expansions. If they grouped those all together and sold them now without the season passes, I would think about it. Because usually at the expansion, there's something in the story that's got me hooked, and I want to play more of that story. But like spending like $400 for season pass and the expansions, I wouldn't do all that at once. Nah.
Okay.
I guess I'm weird.
No. You're. I mean, like if you're able to save money by buying it all up front, versus like piecemealing it. I don't know if that would be an option, but like I was curious to how like that would work out as far as the consumer goes. Like I personally am not a huge Destiny fan. I've bought all the expansions, I think, except for this last one, but I don't play it as religiously as you do. So I just, going forward with the microtransactions and you have to think about the DLC. You also got to think about all the extra shit that you have to pay for in the game. On top of now, the game's going to cost an extra $10. Are those going to increase too?
You know what's funny about this whole price hike? I forgot which YouTuber I was watching, but talking to somebody in the kind of like financial part of the gaming industry, they said that it was a $10 increase is only about a 17% increase as to what they would need to kind of possibly do away with microtransactions and everything, and kind of bring the price of the game up to par where they didn't have to try to get extra money through like DLC and stuff. Do you like, because I know game development, it's a huge task. It soaks up money and stuff like that. So like, do you think it's fair to raise the price by $10 and still have microtransactions? If something like that is true, I think it is still, because it's only being raised by 17%. But do you think it's fair to do that and still ask for money extra through microtransaction, DLC, and stuff like that?
I mean, you look at the cost of some of these games and to develop them. I mean, I think it's fair for some games, but not all of them.
Not all of them.
Yeah, like I think you have to look at the game itself. Like, what's the production cost of that game? Like a game like GTA. No, not GTA. Like, okay, let's say GTA 6, right? They charge $60, $70 for that game. I'd be okay with that because I know they put a lot of work into it. A game
and they give
like,
a lot of free content too.
And they give a lot of free content, and the game's gonna last like fucking 10 years. So 5 generations. So like, yeah, I can sign off on that. But let's say a game like give me a shitty game besides Bugsnax that I can pick on.
No.
Insert shitty AA game here and pick that game, and then it has microtransactions. Like, is that fair? No. I mean, like you don't know what you're gonna get out of that game. It doesn't have a history. Like, earn it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want that kind of money, earn it. You just can't be a company that's been tested and tried, and then you can ask for kind of shit like that. But some of these new like AA places, like some of these companies that like come out with shitty broken games, like, no, you don't get my free money like that.
You don't get my free money.
Yeah. You gotta earn that shit, man.
Nice. Yo, shout out to Great One in the chat. Great 180. He says, games do not, or developers, publishers, they don't necessarily tell you how much the games cost to develop. Movies, they do tell you. Basically, I don't know if it's like a law or if it's a standard that and I think Dark might be able to touch on that a little bit more. When it comes to movies, you always hear about the movie budget, but when it comes to games,
it's because. Well, I'll let you finish. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, when it comes to games, it's not necessarily mandatory. Now we know like Halo Infinite had a $500 million budget, but a lot of that was to create a new gaming engine to create Halo Infinite and future Halos on as well. So, but when it comes down to it, you're right. Like the publishers, and developers don't necessarily have to say what the budget status is on a game. Where I think in the movie industry, I don't know if it just became the norm or if there's some type of statute there where they have to share that. But we definitely hear about those.
It was more of a bragging rights back in the day. Now it's a little bit different, but back in the day it was more of like a bragging rights. Like I made a movie for 30 million or something like that.
Oh, you did?
Know? Yeah, like no, not me.
You go, sir. I'm proud of you.
But like back in the day, that's how it was. Like in the 50s and 60s, like that's how they kind of like they touted like, oh, this is how much I made this movie for.
When movies matter.
This is why this movie's gonna be so great is because I made it for this much money, basically. So it was kind of more of a
Waterworld,
of a touting kind of thing. Nowadays it's more just like they do it for they really do it just to see like if people go see it, how much are we gonna make off of profit. And a lot of times movies, especially nowadays, a lot of movies don't make a lot of profit off of box office.
Not Supersonic.
So there's really nothing mandatory within the movie industry for them sharing.
Not necessarily mandatory, no.
All right. Well, it's become a thing, and I think it should be a thing when it comes to game development as well. Especially
I think honestly, I think it would ruin the game.
Double-edged sword.
Because of the fact that if people know the budget of the game, they're like, oh, okay, this is how much they put into the game. But I think it would give more people a reason to be like, oh, well, they only put this much money into the game, so that's why it sucked. Or, it would just I think it would create more trolling on social media if they did that.
Well, then you're coming down to what's a AAA, what's a double A,
yeah.
Right, exactly.
That game's gonna be trash. It was only $20 million to make. Like that's it.
Right, exactly. So I think that would be because social media is so much bigger now that like for a movie it's different. It's like, oh yeah, they made that movie for $100 million. Oh, okay. It's either gonna be really good or it's gonna be bad, and there's never
it's gonna be
anything
flashy. They put money into the
it's just gonna be flashy, exactly. So that's just how it works.
Shout out to the movie Valerian, by the way, which was very flashy, but that was about
that movie was awesome. No, that movie was awesome,
dude. I picked it up on Xbox. So I just picked it up a couple nights ago. Yo, shout out to Great 180 hitting up that super chat. He said, "Somebody tell me why games you never see how much they cost to make, but they always say that they are high budget. But movies tell you, dude. That's exactly what we're talking about. And I think Great One, you're the one who sparked that side of the conversation. So shout out to you, brother.
Games are way more expensive because of the fact that they're having to do a lot of things on the computer, and computer graphics cost way more. Like especially like movies. For movies, computer graphics. If you do a CG movie, it's going to cost way more than just going out and filming it.
Yeah, but
look how many. And every time if you watch the credits, they'll see when there is a movie that has a lot of CG, just look at how many people.
Yeah, there's
they
so
have
many people.
listed. It's just
So many people.
ridiculous.
The payroll.
Let's
That's,
so
that's,
ridiculous.
that's what it is. the payroll.
Halo, 500 million just for the slip space engine.
No,
So,
it's not
are
500
they-
just for the slip space engine. It was 500 with the slip space engine included. A lot of people have that wrong. Like, it was 500 million in total, which they could have exceeded by now, to be really honest with you.
They
But
probably have.
It was 500 million for the creation of the engine and the game. Like, it was all put together. Okay?
No, it was the creation of the engine.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't,
Well,
brother.
it was for the
Okay.
game and the engine. It was actually, it was partially.
There's
'cause
a
I think they
couple.
put-
There's a couple themes you can trust that when I talk about. One of them being Halo, brother. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It wasn't a full 500 for the
No.
engine. It was like around 250, something like that, somewhere around there, a quarter of a billion, if you want to say. But everything was included. Yeah, Bot and Otter is right about that.
Yeah. See, I even got K Mega on my
Crispy.
side. But yo, shout out to Lucifer hitting up that super chat as well.
But I
He
like
said-
that. But Crispy, you all good. I love it. I run with it because I like that. Just make it.
I'm just gonna tell you.
Let's just say a billion. Let's just say a
That
billion.
engine,
Let's say a billion.
That
Billion!
engine is going to be used again. I'm just telling
Billion
you.
to kill off my boy
Two
Locke in the first
quadrillion.
hour.
But that's the thing. They won't have to put that much money into the engine anymore.
Right.
You understand? Like
and it's
right.
going to
like,
produce
the
multiple
games are going to
titles.
be. The
Yeah, they
games.
could
See,
drop
that's
off
the thing.
games
That's
so-
the thing that,
yeah.
that people have
Back
to
back
realize
back
is
back.
that
Yeah.
with engines, it's going to cost them a lot of money to build it. But once they get to that point to where they build it and then they get to making more games for it, it costs them less and less money to put into those games. So
Yes.
like the next Halo is
Here-
going to
here's-
cost them less money.
Yes.
Here's what I will say to that whole engine thing. Everybody sees how much money Epic makes off of Unreal Engine. Okay? Microsoft is not stupid. All right? They see that. And
they're not
thing
shipping
that-
slip space to
the
other devs.
thing that should make slip space better than everything else is the ray tracing technology, which is going to be proprietary because it's through the whole system.
Mhm.
All right, we've already got people saying that what Xbox Series X is going to bring is probably better than some PCs. Okay,
At least
if not
at launch,
a lot
yeah.
of them, if not a lot of them. And I'm telling
it's
you,
gonna be a
it comes
majority of
down
them.
on the back end.
Yeah, at
The
launch,
back
it
end
definitely
of
will.
the technology, the back end, not the front end, not the actual GPU and CPU. It's going to come down to what they develop behind the scenes that nobody sees, and that's what people are just ignoring. And I'm
What
fine
was the
with them.
topic again?
Yeah,
What was the
yeah.
topic? I walked away and I came back and we're talking about Slip Space Engine. How the hell that happened?
$70 games. That's what we're
Right.
talking about, brother.
I mean, what does it come down to?
Uh,
The money, right?
Well, speaking
The
of the
money.
money, I would like to share this super chat real quick that I tried to, and I got so rudely interrupted. Real quick, if it just real quick, shout out to my brother Lucifer hitting up that super chat. He said Battle Turds worth $69.99. I never heard of a game called Battle Turds. That is not on my radar. I did hear
I do not think Battletoads is going to be.
Battle
$69.99.
Toads.
I guarantee you, Battletoads will probably be a $30 to $40 game.
30.
Yeah.
Probably 30, yeah.
I think it'll be 40 because they're going to add the.
We're
gonna see it. I think we're gonna see it in 2 days.
All right, well, Dark, since you like kind of chimed in when we were talking about movies and everything like that, what do you think about this the potential price hike? Only 2K has said it right now, but are you in the group that, once 2K says it, other publishers are going to be like, "Oh, if they're getting away with it, we are too." And do you think that's going to be the standard? And do you think it's fair to the gamer out there?
I think it's going to make the gamer be more I think the gamer is going to be more conscious of what they buy now.
Okay.
If it's, granted it's only $10, but like, that $10 could go towards something else that they really want or need or whatever, So I think the gamer is probably going to be a little bit more, like, I might buy this game, but I won't buy the next this other game. They're gonna really look into what I think, what their real interests are, and I think they're really gonna look out for people like us and people like I hate to say it, but IGN and things like that to see what reviews are, and see more what people think of the game, rather than just go out and buy it because it's it's this price or whatever. Especially me, I think I'll be a little bit more subconscious about about what I buy, when it comes to games, especially like if it's a sports game. I'm definitely not going to spend 60 70 bucks on it. I'm not.
Well, dude, what was the last sports game like you bought anyway?
I think NBA 2K17. So I am
yeah.
gonna buy this one. I'm gonna buy this one because it has
Kobe.
Forever Mamba, and
it's going to
Kobe
have full path tracing, by the way.
Kobe's a legend here in California, and we miss him every single fucking day. So
Kobe is a legend. Michael
You
Jordan
know what?
is
In
better.
CT, bro, we go Kobe.
No. I mean, Michael Jordan was good, but I think as a man and as a sports star, Kobe was better. Kobe was just Kobe as a man is better, dude. Kobe.
All right, we can't get into sports. We can't.
Michael Jordan's a fucking dickbag, dude. He will not sign anything. Kobe used to sign people's fucking hats. He used to sign people's shirts. Shit, man, that dude is a genuine
Hold on,
dude.
did MJ burn a little Dark Optimus at one point in time?
No. I just knew
MJ made Kobe because Kobe implemented everything from him. But then I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm just saying MJ
legendary
paid
status
for
right there.
all of these players to have the option to want to. I mean, listen, I don't know. That what you call it explained a lot, which of course made me love Jordan even more. But I do have a lot more respect.
Well, I mean, let's be serious for a second. If you're older,
I used to
you
hate
understand,
shit
Michael. Yeah, baby.
No, yeah. I mean,
football.
granted, Michael was a fucking beast of a player. I mean, that dude could fucking.
I am sorry I said that, guys. I
run
really
around with everybody, but Kobe's just, as a man and as a player, as just a human being, period, was just better all around.
He was a better
In
person.
all reality,
Absolutely.
Kobe had the more checkered past.
All right, guys.
Getting back to the topic.
Yeah,
at hand.
let's move on from that.
Sports. Baby, let's go.
I think
Sports!
I think 60 or 70 bucks for a game, a sports game, that's going to be rough for a lot of people. I think unless you're really like a diehard sports, gamer, like that's all you play is just sports, then I could see you definitely forking over that money. It's going to be interesting, man. This next generation is going to be really interesting to see, what how things work in the gaming industry, because things with what's going on in the world today and things that are going to be coming later on in this year, it's going to be very, very interesting generation, I feel. I think there's going to be a lot of people who might actually even just drop out of gaming just because they don't want to spend more money on games, especially if they price it more than $69.99. There's going to be a lot of people who are just going to drop out. I guarantee it.
If Sony follows suit with a Game Pass type subscription service, then I don't see a lot of people falling out of it. In all actuality, $10 more. I was there when it went from 50 to 60, and at first people, this is preposterous, man. How could they do this and everything like that? And then like 6 months down the line, they're like, yeah, no problem, $59.99, okay.
Yeah, and that could be the very possibility of what it's going to be probably the same thing, but I think a lot of people will probably be a little bit more cautious on what they buy, and when they buy it, they might, especially with. I do like the great 180s.
Can you read that super chat? Because that's a great question.
The great 180s. What about Nintendo going to $70? No Nintendo game is worth $59.99 now. $70? No. You have a great point there, man. I mean that's definitely going to be something that we're going to have to really, really talk about, because Nintendo rarely ever comes down on their pricing in their games. So like if their games are going to go to $70, that's going to really hurt, especially the consumer, because most of their consumers are kids, in
and
a
their
way.
system isn't next gen anyway, man.
Yeah, and their system isn't next gen, so it's like it's so weird if they do go to that. That's so weird. I don't understand why they would do that. I mean, if most of their games don't even have DLC with them, so I don't even know why they would even think that would be a good idea. But I mean, that's that's gonna really, I think, open people's eyes and be like, well, I'm not buying anything from Nintendo for too much longer, And I think, people will be more looking towards deals, especially with, Xbox and PlayStation. Those games are always going on sale. So, I mean, you don't have to spend the $69.99 on those games. You can just wait until it either goes to Game Pass, or you can wait until it goes on a sale. And, and a lot of times those games go down to what, 30 or $40 by 2 months or so, somewhere around there. Sometimes even sooner than that. I mean, what Shadow of the Tomb Raider went to 30 or $40, what, like a week or two after it came out?
It went on sale. It went on sale. Yeah.
It went on sale like not that long after that. And I was just like, dang, all right. I mean, it's a good game, but I mean, I understand why it went on sale. I mean, a lot of people were just like, this is the same thing over and over again. So I get that. But it's going to be interesting to see. It's even going to be more interesting to see, like, how these companies are going to handle it with their exclusive games. Especially Microsoft. They're not really going to have to handle it at all because they got Game Pass. But
they will promote the shit out of Game Pass, bro.
But Nintendo and Sony, they don't have anything like that as of yet. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do next gen to offset those pricing of their games.
Nice, brother. I definitely agree with you, and I think this is one thing. Again, these companies, Sony, Microsoft, Activision, they all kind of know what's coming a long time before we do in the game industry, and I think this is one place where Xbox was looking at the future. They seen stuff like this happening. And they're like, yo, we can really go
I guarantee they saw that coming.
Game.
They were like, oh, these games are going to go up in price. Like we need to help our customers out and give them something that's what Microsoft has always done. I mean, they've always been like that. No matter what you say about Microsoft, they have always thought about their customers. Always. That's how they've always been, even in the 90s, the 80s. All those times.
I will disagree with that only by saying, since Phil has got a seat at the table, now the gamers matter too. And
well, yeah. You're right about that. Yeah, because I mean, Donnie D was definitely not for the gamers for sure. But
he was a company guy, man.
Yeah, he was definitely a company guy. But I think, with this next generation, I think Microsoft is going to have a really good seat in the gaming industry.
Yo, shout out to Albert. Brother, we're not talking about anybody winning anything. If anything, the gamers need to be the ones that are winners, regardless of what platform they're playing.
We're the ones that need to win, dude.
Yeah.
Not the consoles,
dude,
not the fucking
if you're rooting for a corporation to build up their wallet, I there's an issue there, bro. There's definitely an issue. But let's first off, a gamer I highly respect, a legend in my eyes, HTK 360 is in the chat. What is up, brother? It is very, very good to see you, man. Let's go with K-Mega's been really quiet. Crispy, we will definitly get to you, bro. Trust me.
K-Mega, I have too much to say.
K-Mega's been quiet though, so I really want to hear about his opinions when it comes to this kind of like $70 hike, yo. So K-Mega, do you think this is going to be the standard? Because so far, it's only been 2K that has said this, but I am kind of in the camp that once one publisher does it, the other publishers are going to look over there and be like, you know what, if they can do it, we definitely can do this. I feel like this is going to become the standard. And what do you think? Is it fair to raise the price to $70 and still have like heavy microtransaction type games?
It's not necessarily fair, but I mean, this is just the reality of what's going to happen. I mean, I've talked about this a million times. Me and Fonzarelli used to I'll go at it all the time on GRG, and then of course I see that Fonzarelli is still, making that claim on RDX. Listen, gaming is an expensive hobby. And for all the stuff that people have been asking for, with all the increase with graphics and for more realism and all of this detail, all of these other things, people want to see more and more of the great detail and stuff that you see in The Last of Us or in games like Gears 5, stuff like that. That shit's not cheap. It's expensive.
Mm-mm.
And the more and more that people are going to want and demand these AAA, quadruple A bangers, what do you think that's going to do? And I understand, I get what Pred is saying about like the certain prices of games need to be different because if you got a smaller budget title, then it needs to be charged as necessary. But we know this. There are some people that are habitual line steppers or publishers that are habitual line steppers, and they'll still try to slide it in anyway. And my case in point is going to be Japanese publishers. That's who I think it's going to hurt the most overall, is because if you look at the game, I've been wanting to play this game for years. There's Attack on Titan. That price has not gone down. The first Attack on Titan has not gone down past $35, and I refuse to pay for a game that's damn near 4 years old. Pay $60. I'm just not. Come on, bend a little. Like, I mean, I need this game to be cheap. And so I can get it, so I can play it, and if I like it, I can get the second one.
Then you could be a fan and get the games when they come out. Like if you like it, yeah.
But a lot of Japanese publishers, they are just hell bent on not lowering the price, and I'm not gonna bend either. I got to a point where I got to thank my boy Don for that, because you know how I could just get to a point. I just buy games. Just I don't care. I'll just spend it. But I was like, Mega, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, just think about what you're doing. Be a little frugal. And then so I started taking that advice, and then I really started now being more cautious about what I buy and what I don't. And I'm just kind of looking at this situation, and yeah, it's going to hurt a lot of people. It's going to affect, especially the casual gamer that's primarily only buys anywhere from 3 to 5 games per year at the most. If the games go up that $10, they're going to go down to probably about 2 to 4 for the whole entire year. That's going to hurt a lot of other publishers and a lot of games, and especially make people skittish on wanting to spend for publishers to take new ideas for other games, because gamers have been demanding they want this, that, and so forth. Now, there was a point that was made, I can't remember who made it, but they was talking about like the difference of games. I'm going to read off a list to you guys of the top 15 games, and this was from last year.
Well, K-Mega, before you do that list, can you see that super chat right there? Because great one. He is on fire tonight, man. Can you see that or no?
What? Oh, yeah, great one. Yeah. I see it right there. All right.
Do you mind reading that?
Yeah, I'll read it. He says, gaming is making more money in history. Now they want to raise the prices.
That's true. Like, it is making more money than it ever has, but
it's also spending more money than it ever has as well, too.
Okay, true.
I mean,
you're on fire right now, brother.
When I read this list, people are going to start understanding, like, especially just one particular game, because nobody will have any idea that this game costs this much. But I'm going to go ahead and read it off. Okay, Number 15 is the Phantom Pain. All right, that game was $80 million to make. Okay, The Witcher 3, that game was $81 million to make. Red Dead Redemption, the first one, was $90 million to make.
Oh,
and we have no idea. I forgot how much Red Dead Redemption 2 is. Okay, now this game right here is going to throw everybody off. Deadpool. Everybody would play that game and they would think that game was a AA game. But Deadpool cost $100 million to make.
Are you serious? Oh my God, dude.
It's the number 12 game in the books. And this is an old article from 2019. And
Deadpool like 1999. I was like, dang, dude.
No, 2019. Sorry. $100 million to make Deadpool. Grand Theft Auto which one is that? 4, 5? I can't remember. It's the one with the Russian guy in it. That's $100 million. You know what I'm saying? Max Payne 3. People asking, where's Max Payne? We need a new Max Payne. Max Payne cost, how much did it say? $105 million to make. And the game didn't sell well. The game is fantastic, but the game didn't sell well. Final Fantasy VII cost $114 million to make. Halo 2.
The remake or just the?
No, the old one. The one
old
on the PS1 was $114 to make. Why do you think it took so long for them to make that game? Because they wanted to recoup the money to go ahead and get it. There's a lot of red tape and stuff things that we don't know about, and we just make assumptions because the industry is quote unquote making a lot of money. But yet you see studios constantly closing.
Yo, Mega, our brother Rain said you just made some virtual currency by reading that list out, man.
Okay, all right. Well, I need it. Can I get it? You know
What are the top 3?
I'm going. Okay, well, I'm getting to 8 because 8 is very surprising too. Halo 2, $120 million to make.
Sounds about right.
Dead Space. That studio is closed, man. Over $120 million to make.
They don't even give you a number. They just say over 120, huh?
Yeah, they say over. They say a hefty budget over $120. I'm $120 million. I can also say it's $120. Damn.
Yeah,
that's
it's like
great
damn.
budget.
We're all developing games now.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider, $125 million. Destiny, a budget of $140. Star Citizen. Now we did a show on Star Citizen.
Jesus
and
Christ.
Star Citizen was at $180 million. This was last year. Star Citizen has got a budget over $330 million because so many people. It's the most donated Kickstarter game in the history. $330 million. Get the hell out of here! But that, like I said, this is old.
Is that game ever gonna come out?
No,
and I don't know.
Game's never coming out.
The Star Wars: The Old Republic is number 3. Fred, here we go. $200 million to make The Old Republic. Modern Warfare 2, not this new Modern Warfare. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 had a budget of $250 million.
How?
And it had actors. It was
Dude,
ahead of its time.
I was saying because it was built on an old ass engine. Like
$250 million, bro. 250, and then of course number 1 is Grand Theft Auto, and it had a budget of $265 million, but it made $1 billion in 3 days. So that right there, me going through that top 15 of an old list, you just think about how much that The Last of Us cost, or what we've seen how much money that Halo has put into it, and then just go down the line what Fable's going to cost, what all these other games are going to cost, even the games that we look at, like you go back and think about Deadpool, and there's games that's not going to look like these other so-called AAA bangers, but they're still going to have big budgets just because of name recognition, voice actors, whatever the case may be, and then put it all together, and then people are going to say, well, this game should be $40. They're going to say, hell no, we put so much money in this game, it's going to be $70, and it's going to hurt it. But what, just like Otter said, and then what my boy Lou said, I said this, and I will keep saying, I said this to Farms Really too. Games as a service and features will be the new king of this next generation. Services is going to start popping up everywhere because they know that gamers are not going to spend that type of money on multiple games like that. They don't now. So if you add that $10, which they will, they're not going to do it now. Will they cut out of microtransactions? I have no idea. I doubt it for some.
I doubt it.
Yeah, some is just going to do it. 2K is going to do it. Madden's going to do it. Destiny's going to do it. All that because what they're going to do is have some games that try to drop down to free to play, and so then they'll really beat you over the head.
The gaming base for those games are already used to spending more money.
Yes, I mean that's and then that's the thing. And then when it comes to me, it's more about the value of the game itself. Is how much am I getting out of that game? Like if I play Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I feel like I got my money's worth because I put 300 and some plus hours into that game. The Witcher 3, same amount of hours into it. Like I'm playing Injustice 3, and I mean Injustice 2, and I put damn near probably maybe 500 hours into this game because I'm trying to get everybody to level 30. I'm right there. I got 2 more characters to go. And I feel like I got my money's worth. That's what it's going to come down to. Like, so when I made a video and I asked this question, what are these games going to be like when you pay $70 for like a game like The Last of Us 2, and then you only have like a week, like even on your most busiest time of working and things like that, but you can get that game beaten in a week. How are you going to feel about that as a value without any type of replay? That's why Sony and Nintendo is going to have to get it together, because Sony has to do that, especially if they don't have games that has multiplayer, any type of multiplayer driven with it. Xbox can do fine because what they have with having
they got
games,
PlayStation Now, man. We know they're rebuilding PlayStation Now to be.
Yeah, they got to do it. They got to add some kind of service to give people the value so they can start playing with all their games. Because if they don't, they'll sell a good 5, 6, 7 million on the games that people want. But what about those other games that's gonna be third party or second party under Sony, and then those games are going to be $70, and they're just pretty much a one and done, and they don't have any type of service to fall back on to where somebody could feel comfortable of paying the $120 a year, and then having somebody having confidence to just say, oh man, I got this game, and then I could go ahead and get this game now since I got the money to go do it. That's the difference, and it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. It might not hurt Nintendo, because Nintendo fans are crazy to me on how much they spend for the Switch games. But
shout out to the Nintendo fans out there, man.
And then of course, my last point, TVs and monitors and all of this stuff, and then buying extra hard drives and all this stuff. Gaming is going to be more expensive than it's ever been. So people, you better put your money where your mouth is, because you've been asking for this. So here we go. We got them SSDs, and we got ray tracing and all the bells and whistles and all this stuff. Hey, you're gonna have to have the TV or the monitor. You're gonna have to have the hard drive space. You're gonna have all that shit for that. So
the only thing my TV is not ready for is 120 frames per second, and I don't necessarily need that. If a game is developed and can go 120 frames per second, at least I know that my 60 frames per second, it's not pushing the system or the game like incredibly hard. You know what I'm saying? And I'm happy with that right now. But shout out to the friendly neighborhood Blue Shell one more time. He said, for K Mega speaking facts, going to hunt his Spartan down Banish style as well. So, brother, I take that as a term of endearment or whatnot. Yes. Like, if they do have that beta, he says he's gonna come hunting for you in Halo Infinite, man. So
I will be there, and if there's somebody with a Locke skin, you know who it is. It's yours truly. Hashtag save Locke, baby, with them SSDs. Let's go.
Yeah, let's I know Crispy has been chomping at the bit, man. He wants to get in on this, man. We gotta get his opinion in here, brother. You came in talking about the budget for the Slip Space engine for Halo Infinite. What do you think about the prospect of $70 games moving into next gen? Do you feel it's a fair adjustment, looking at kind of like the spectrum of games and all the microtransactions and everything like that? Is this something you have expected? Did it come out of nowhere? What are your thoughts, bro?
I will say this. I'm completely appalled that this, and unfortunately I don't have the receipts, but originally the post was PlayStation 5 and not Series X had $70 price point, and I can go on YouTube and I can find people like ranting about it, but I'm not going to do all that. What I'm going to say to you
the information I got was both of them, both the Series X and the PlayStation 5.
It was just the PlayStation right off rip, and then all of a sudden it became the Series X too. And the only reason why I think they waited for that is because they want the pre-orders, number one. Number two, they also know that Xbox gamers have a lot of games to play that they pay a monthly price for. And they're going to try to cater to the company that is already catering to their fans. and you might see a price drop real quick on Xbox. So I caution you to go and buy, unless you want the physical disc or you want the the glam, the Mamba, whatever. But I caution you. I caution you, if you care about the actual money you're spending, I do believe it's going to drop in price very quickly on Xbox. And the only reason why I say that is because 2K has had a pretty decent partnership with Xbox over the years. And they're not going to tarnish that, because they might have, even though you've sold more consoles than the PlayStation side, a very strong following of people that play this game. And I'm interested in the collector's edition and everything else, and spending the money because, my respect for Kobe Bryant. And that's what it comes down to. I'm like literally being an only child and loving basketball as much as I have my entire life. I mean, it was Michael for a small period of time, but then it was Kobe. It was Kobe. You're throwing the crumpled up piece of paper in the freaking wastebasket. Kobe. There you go.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I remember.
I used to yell Ray Allen. I used to
watched
yell Ray Allen.
Kobe Bryant drop 81 points on the Knicks. Okay? I watched it. It was amazing. You know what I'm saying? That dude is incredible. When my favorite player of all time, Paul Pierce.
Yeah, but it was the Knicks, though, man. Come on.
Yeah, but no.
Shut up.
Player,
dude, I saw Michael Jordan score 64 against the Hall of Fame Celtics, okay? In the playoffs.
Michael Jordan.
Never mind. No. My favorite player of all time is Paul Pierce, because he was brass knuckles, getting the paint. He had probably one of the best fadeaways.
Dude, he knew how to use a wheelchair as well.
Dude, he defended Kobe like nobody else. That's how he won 08. Okay? But in the end, that dude grew up with him. A lot of people don't realize. They grew up in the same fucking area in Los Angeles. Okay? They don't, Inglewood, everything else, like, dude, there was a rivalry the whole fucking time. Okay? The respect that's there is incredible. That's why I want it. I'm going to purchase 2K21.
Are you going to play it, though, or are you just going to keep it packaged like collector's edition? I'm sealing this up.
You'd be surprised how good I am at basketball games.
Oh, I will play you, brother. I will play you.
Oh, by all means. I will be the Celtics, though. That's how I roll.
I mean,
I got Jason Tatum, bro. Let's go.
Their roster isn't really that great.
Can we get off topic, guys?
Oh, I'm sorry. Fred, you're still here. Good thing.
Get him, Fred. Get him, Fred.
But in all seriousness, let's be serious for a second. Xbox has a different style of what they're doing right now. And PlayStation has continued to, we'll say, adapt, but not adapt enough. I mean, it's a little unusual because Microsoft has continued to be way far ahead of the curve. And all of a sudden, PlayStation's starting to catch up, but are they really catching up? And we're going to come down to, where's your value? Where's your dollar going to come into play? If you're going to pay $70 for a game that is not a part of any first party type shit, but then you have second party and third party newer games coming into Game Pass, and you're paying the $15 a month, where does NBA say, 2K says, okay, we gotta go to you, and we gotta drop our price immediately because we're afraid that you're not gonna engage. You're not gonna care. because you have so many other games.
Dude,
You
games.
got Halo Infinite coming out. You got all these other games
Yeah, that's first
that are
party, though.
engaging.
Brother,
Well, no, it doesn't matter. It's Game Pass. I'm telling you, Game Pass.
2K is not gonna. No. 2K, when it comes to Game Pass, 2K will stay as far away from Game Pass until they feel it necessary.
I didn't say that they were going to go into Game Pass. What I'm saying to you is that they're going to drop their price
No, they're not.
because of Game Pass.
Nope, they're not. Nope.
You know what? You could. So then you're not a Halo. You don't love Halo Infinite that much. You're not ready for it.
How are you talking that? I will be getting Halo Infinite through Game Pass, brother. When it comes down to it. But
that's my point. Thank you for putting it.
It doesn't really have an effect on a third-party multiplat, though. They're going to be making money on multiple platforms.
You're going to release near Halo Infinite. You're going to release near Cyberpunk. You're going to release near all of these games that are great from what people say. Yeah. And you're going to release a sports game, which some people are just going to gravitate to. But for the Xbox community, with Halo Infinite coming out, they're not going to give a shit.
Dude, and see, this is where I can go and kind of argue this point kind of like against what you're saying. With Halo Infinite being in Game Pass, Xbox players won't have to buy the game to play the game. Therefore, they will have the money if they are really big into basketball, and they will throw down $70 for the next NBA 2K.
So
it makes
what
it
you're
more
telling
acceptable.
Me is that the people that have Game Pass aren't smart enough to realize that game will be half price in 3 months after I'm either done with Halo Infinite or whatever.
Brother, I would caution you against questioning an intelligence base from a gaming community, because what happens with NBA 2K, a lot of it revolves around my player and being competitive online. And a lot of people, they will get it day one, and they won't even buy the $70 version. They're going to buy like the $90, $100 version that comes with more virtual currency that they can put into their player, have it at a higher rate, and dominate on the blacktop and in the gym 5v5 online gaming.
So it sounds like you're playing an old game.
How?
Because that's what they've done for the past 3 years.
Yeah, no, they've been doing. That's the structure of an NBA 2K game. I'm hoping for new features. I'm hoping that when it comes to an NBA,
I'm hoping. Everybody's hoping.
Oh, well, no. If you let me finish if you let me finish
$10, I mean, everybody's hoping all the time.
If you let me finish that, I am also hoping that for some rhyme or reason, there hasn't been a competitor to NBA 2K either, which there very well could be, because
and there hasn't been a competitor to Madden.
Just let me. Well, see, there's a key difference there. 2K hasn't signed exclusive rights to NBA, where Madden worked out a deal with the NFL that nobody else can make a pro football.
The NFL made more money off of Madden because they signed exclusive rights with them.
But the NBA did not do that.
The NBA didn't do that.
So there's room there.
There's not room. Dude,
there's room for competition.
I've watched live 4 years try to make the greatest game in the world, and they sucked. Okay? They're not going to do it again. EA might be stupid in some sense, but they're not going to try it. They got FIFA, they got Madden, they're happy. They're not going to touch it.
But what I'm saying is 2K did not slam. 2K did not slam the door shut on competition, is what I'm saying. They didn't sign exclusive rights. A developer and a publisher out there somewhere could get rights as well and make an NBA simulation type game, all right, to compete with NBA 2K. It's just that no publisher out there does that.
So you're gonna play that simulation more than 2K. If it's good enough to play it, I mean that's how 2K came about. Yeah, I mean, look, I mean back in the days, there used to be NBA Drive, there used to be Live, of course. There was so many other NBA games. I mean, you had NBA Streets, you had all different types of NBA games and NFL games. I was an NBA Live player for years, and then I played 2K, and I thought it was a better simulation,
which it is,
than Live. Okay.
And Live came back, and I played that too. And it was horrible compared to 2K. I like to play basketball. I like the moving the ball around. I like, playing as a team. And
Oh, come on, Rain. Come on, man. I mean, I'm not going to mess with you about your opinion, but really, NBA Live. All right, never mind. I thought you said 2K. Yeah, NBA Live, I started off on NBA Showdown on Genesis when it came down. I did play a little
NBA Jam.
Jordan versus Bird and stuff like that, like way back in the day. But the NBA Showdown on Genesis is like the first NBA game I owned. All right, and that was by EA as well. So, like, NBA Live. But what I'm saying
EA
here
is going to get back into basketball.
But what I'm saying here is that 2K did not slam the door closed on competition. They left it open. Other publishers can make an NBA simulation game. That's the difference there when you're talking about NBA 2K and you're talking about Madden. You know what I'm saying? But when it all comes down to it, I feel that with Game Pass and the first party from Xbox going into Game Pass and you not needing to shell out $70 for Halo Infinite or the next Forza, that frees up the wallet for the gamer to spend $70 on an NBA 2K21 and not really have to think about it that much because they're only putting 10 to 15 a month on Game Pass.
You're not looking at the fact that some people don't have $7 to spend anyway. So they're going to cater to the Xbox community eventually. And the problem is that PlayStation won't release their damn first-party games on PlayStation Now. So the fact is that you could sit here and tell me, but in the end, I bet you it drops in price on the Xbox store before PlayStation because they want those multiplayer gamers that are going to play the game.
No, dude, it'll drop at the same time, dude. There's no way they're gonna allow Xbox to drop the price and PlayStation not gonna drop the price. They're both gonna drop at the same time.
The only way that would happen is if Xbox has the marketing rights going into next year, and they tie it in somewhere into Game Pass.
That they can do, and they can do that. Like with
they could do it
this generation already, though.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the only way that I can see what Crispy is saying to be true, to where they want to try and entice people. But I would rather think that they would rather have gamers pay that $120 a year than just paying $10 less. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, is it a possibility? It could, but the best scenario, I think, Crispy, is that PlayStation just has to get their shit together and have their gamers and just get out of this thought process of the old way of gaming used to be, and then put those games day and date on either PC and on PlayStation Now, so they can have more people buy into PlayStation Now.
I'd rather see the whole industry grow, to be really honest with you, man.
Right.
And
right.
I feel like even people like Review Tech and other like bigger YouTubers than me and you, K Mega, like when it comes down to it, they like that service. They see where Game Pass is going, and I feel that these YouTubers, they've been saying that Sony looks a little boastful right now. They look a little like when they're in first place, they kind of sit back and like, yeah, no, we're gonna do things our way no matter what. Where Xbox kind of did that with going towards the end of the 360, and they got bit in the ass with the Xbox One. There's a tendency in the gaming industry that the number one guy, the one that people kind of put on that high pedestal, that number one company or whatnot, gets a little lazy, gets a little overly directive with how they're doing things, and I think Sony, for the entire industry to grow, I think that they are reworking PlayStation Now as well to be used as kind of like the alternative to Game Pass when it comes down to it, man.
And then another point too is that a lot of people keep forgetting that the casual market is not loyal to you. It's not loyal to these companies whatsoever. The hardcore for anything, cell phones, TVs, movies, whatever, is loyal, but the casual isn't. And if they found out that if they could see if they have any chance of getting more for their dollar, they're going to jump on that. Doesn't matter if they loved every PlayStation game that they from this generation. That's old news. This shit's cheaper. I'm going to go there until you get your shit together. That's how they're going to do it. That's how they treated Xbox. When Xbox came out there, was toting that 360 life, like the dusting the shit off their shoulder. Like, look, 360 was the standard. What? $500. And you know what the casual said? Bitch, please.
He said, "Fuck you, we're out."
PlayStation 4 for life. I'm caring about these SSDs. No, they weren't SSDs, but they're caring more about the 720p, 1080p, and they loving all these games that they didn't play on the PlayStation 3. That's what the casual market does to you. They'll humble you. And if PlayStation comes out there like they did with the PlayStation 2, going into the PlayStation 3 era, with that we're number one. We sold this many, we did that many.
You just get a
with
second
that
job,
small
bro.
Fan base. Get a second job, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then they bragging shit. Watch, they're gonna get humbled real quick. They're gonna have to do something, man. They're gonna have to do something.
No doubt, guys. And unless anybody has anything left to say on this, I think this would be a good time to wind the show down. Since we're on Sunday, lazy Sunday, we might as well end kind of on time, I guess, is a good phrase for that. So, any last...
better than an hour later, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, Crispy. Any last words on the $70 thing before we kind of wind it down and get into our outros or whatnot? Okay, good job. As usual, first off, I gotta say shout out to the chat. You guys have been absolutely on fire tonight. I know it's not our typical night, and to see you guys coming in and supporting us on a Sunday as opposed to Saturday night, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. But like a 40-year-old with a comb over, it is time for the panel to get their plugs in, and I'm gonna start with Pred, because I know Pred wants to get the hell out of here. And, I haven't heard him for a while, except for when he was saying, what topic are we talking about again? Because we were talking about price for games, and now we're talking about slip space and whatnot. So, Pred, as usual, always good to have your opinion on this show, man. I look forward to hearing what you have to say. Every weekend, going live with Next Podcast, why don't you let people know where they can go to talk games with you? And if there's anything else you want to announce, you caught that 6-foot snake in your backyard, anything at all, now's the time, brother.
That Next Podcast next week, man. See y'all later.
Nice, bro. And we're going to go to the very opinionated and not afraid to share it, by the way. One of the reasons why I love having him on this panel every weekend, Crispy, you are not only are you a part of the Next Podcast family, but you do other shows as well. You might want to let people know about that, where they can go to talk games with you, and anything else you want to say winding down, bro.
Well, all I got to say is I've been on a week hiatus. I had a lot to say tonight.
You came in with energy, man. Energy.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to have that energy. I mean,
sir.
A whole week, man. Like, that's been hard for me. But next week, here we go. Primetime Gaming tomorrow night, 8 p.m. We got Retro Renegades, hopefully, at 7 p.m. We got Breakfast
I like how you said
Boom,
hopefully. Hopefully we
10
got
a.m. And then we got the Next Podcast to round it up, Saturday, 7 p.m.
Yes,
So hit me up on Twitter at CrispyBomb, CrispyBomb28, Xbox Live. I'm down to play games, especially if it's on Game Pass. Easy peasy. Download it. Have fun.
Nice, brother. Let's go to my West Coast brother, and I gotta say, I feel special when it comes to Dark Optimus, because when it's all said and done, you guys must have heard him on Crossfire before. You've heard him on other shows before, and the host is always so happy to get Dark Optimus on, and I have had him on this show pretty much every week, and I gotta say, I feel special about this. But Dark, why don't you let people know where they can go to talk games with you, brother, and anything else, if you have any other appearances, anything at all that you want to say to wind down tonight's show, bro.
Yeah, man, you guys can find me on Twitter at Dark Anonymous. You can also find me on Xbox and PlayStation at the same name. And man, all I gotta say is that next gen's gonna be great, dude, and we're just gonna have a good time next gen. I can guarantee it.
Dude, I can't wait, man. Seeing the technical kind of like leaps and features that are going on.
Yeah.
We don't even.
And I'm not just talking about PlayStation. I'm talking about all the consoles that are coming.
Yeah.
Everything that's coming out next gen. We're gonna have a blast.
Brother,
Guaranteed.
we don't even know all the features.
And if you alienate yourself from a game, then that's on you, man. That ain't on anybody else.
I only alienate from games that you solely play.
That you're not interested in.
That you solely play, Dark.
That makes sense if you're not interested in it, but if you're interested in it and you're just alienating yourself because of the console, that's not the way to think, man.
That's some weird shit right there, basically. That's some very weird shit. I got you, bro. Yo, and even some point in time this generation, I had a PS4, and I was playing games on the PS4. I was streaming them out there. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you
still would have had a PS4 if Ghost of Tsushima wasn't coming out this year. If it came out like a couple years ago, you probably would have still had it.
Oh, dude, yeah, I would have kept it for Ghost. You know, after my run-in with Spider-Man, if Ghost of Tsushima was like right around the corner, I probably would have kept my PS4 to check that out as well. And that might have saved my PS4 from being sold, to be really honest with you.
Exactly.
Yeah, but yeah, at the end of the day, it's about gaming, people. Don't you kind of like border yourself off. If you have the ways, you have the means, check them all out, man. It's what it's about.
Exactly.
But yeah, again, as usual, Dark, it's great having you on, man. Again, I feel special. We get the most Dark Optimists on this channel. This is where you come to hear the angry
we talk about
Optimist.
games, man. Some other podcasts, they don't talk about games. I'm just saying.
And speaking of that, I think K Mega, he's gonna start begging to be on GRG one more time, bro. Wait for it to come, because it's gonna happen. But
I'm gonna be like, K Mega, can I be on GRG, man?
I'm gonna say, kick rock, sucker.
Oh!
No, I got to start bringing more guests on. It's just the fact that, what I'm saying, I know that like GRG was really long Friday, but it was a really good show. We touched on a lot of things. And so probably what I'll do is when those times when I know that we can't finish our topics, I will start asking people all over if they want to come and join us, because it won't be as many of us on the podcast. So when we do that GRG extra thing, I'll start asking people to come on and then see if they say yay or nay. It is what it is. But GRG podcast every Friday night. You know what I'm saying? I love the support, man. You know what I'm saying? It's good to be back on YouTube. We also putting it on Twitch. Now, this is the craziest thing, man. I got to say this, and I don't usually toot my horn on anything. I try not to anyway. But I'm humbled and also, really happy so far. Just only been doing, coming from being a Mixer refugee going to Twitch. I'm already an affiliate. I got 4 subscribers and man, I'm really blessed, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm only at 100. Well, I can't say only, but I mean, you look at the broad things of really big streamers. I'm at 113,
you always gotta aim big. You gotta aim big, man.
Yeah, but I'm at 113, 114 followers right now, man. I really appreciate the support so far, and I'm right after this, probably in about another hour or so, I'm finna go ahead and get ready to stream again, and it's our normal Sunday night thing where we do Fight Night Sundays, and so come check me out on Twitch, which is just K Mega 45, just all together, man. So just come and enjoy us. We talk a lot of shit. It's me, Don, this one cat named Unstable. It's Sir X-Man. It's we got this badass chick named Vamp.
I met her. I met her last week.
Yeah, he met her last week. Yeah,
and I thanked her. I thanked her for my ass whooping. I did. I said thank you.
Yes, and she loved it, and she loves whooping our ass. But when we beat her, then she gets mad, and then it turns into like an all-out brawl. And then, of course, we have plenty of other people, Yobi Dren, and all of them to come in, and
it's crazy.
Yeah, so it's a really, really good time, man. I really enjoy it. So come check us out, and then also, like I said, on doing that. Doing the streaming, I played Fortnite for the very first time. That actually was kind of fun.
I heard you had fun, dude.
I had fun. I ain't gonna even lie. I'm not gonna bullshit. I did have fun playing it. I won three. I got three number ones in a row. for my first time ever playing. So that was pretty cool. They said that was a really big thing. I don't know. I just know how to shoot, but I do not know how to do the block build and shit. I seen old Snaps doing it. She was tearing that shit up. I was like, what in the hell? How are you doing that so fast? She says practice makes perfect.
You just follow her and jump when she jumps, and you'll be right on top of that whatever she builds right with her. Yeah.
I'm like, man, she was having a shootout battle, and then she was just stacking that shit. I'm like, what? How are you doing that? But anyway, it was pretty fantastic. So big shout out for that. I promised her that I was going to get out there and start playing some Fortnite with her and her team, and then I'll play some golf. I got golf downloaded, so I'll start playing that with Bot and Sir X-Man and 108 Dragons. And so,
dude, we have a lot of fun. We talk mad shit on the golf course. Like it gets crazy.
A lot of streaming, man. A lot of streaming. I really enjoy streaming a lot. So yeah, but thank you guys for checking us out. I'll see you next week as usual. Let's go.
Nice. And on that note, the way Crispy stated in the chat, he doesn't want. He wants a game, not a movie, people. It's straight from Crispy's mouth right there, or from his fingers typing.
Well, you better keep waiting on those games, man, because you're gonna keep getting movie games. I'm guarantee you that.
Yeah.
But guys,
I'll stream Ghost of Tsushima because I got that game. So when it comes, I'll stream that.
I'll definitely check that out, bro. I am definitely interested in seeing the story within Ghost of Tsushima. But yo, guys, on that note, I noticed it's not our typical day. If you are new to the show and you like what you see, we are live every Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern. We have the beats, we have the gameplay, we have the entertaining panel. Let gamers out there know that this podcast exists. We have been seeing some incredible growth with this channel and with this show, and I just want to see it reach as far as it possibly can. We have a lot of fun putting the show together. Shout out to the chat, all the supporters out there for the next podcast. I really, really do appreciate it. And I am going to end the show the way I do every week. We will see you guys this coming Saturday for the next podcast. Have a great Sunday, guys. We'll see you soon.
Fight Night Sunday, bitches. I'm gonna whoop somebody's ass tonight.
Did he say butt snacks?
I did say butt snacks.